We now join the following program already in progress.
Well, as you can see, we have a lot of fun in store for this week's show. We have Zoom interviews and music videos from Sam Frazier and Peter Holsapple, I Want My Daddy's Records, and a movie by me, so please enjoy.
Descended from the same family tree as Lancelot Link, Curious George, and the Space Monkeys of yore, a simple family rock band has dared to go where no band has gone before. In these pandemic times, we need Secret Monkey Weekend now more than ever. So without any further ado, settle into your favorite chair, call your neighbors, because it's time for the Secret Monkey Quarantine Half-Hour Show.
Raise your right paw, your right hoof, your right tentacle, whatever you might have.
I shall sing no song that is not a secret monkey song. I shall make no record that is not a secret monkey record. I refuse to be known as anything but a secret monkey singer. I am proud to be associated with the secret monkey music. Secret monkey music and secret monkey fans made me what I am today, and I shall not forget it.
Major, chorus, then of mine. I got distracted and I realized in the nick of time. E minor to A major, followed by a bridge I wager. I wanna thank you for being there, my desert flower. I wanna love you for the rest of my waking hours. How we arrived at this moment's beyond my comprehension. You deserve nothing less than the focus of my full attention.
Next, a short film by Lila.
And now a word from our sponsors.
We have a few new sponsors we'd like to introduce today, girls.
Okay, one of our first sponsors is Mr. Chippy's Monkey Chow and Flea Powder from the Mr. Chippy's fine family of products.
And Hope Valley Nervous Hospital, good medicine for trying times.
And we also have Ernie's Mortuary and Taxidermy Service since 1948, serving your family's memorial and fishing trophy needs. Remember those fishing trophies we saw down at Grandma's house a while back?
Yeah, they look so peaceful.
Yeah, they looked very natural, like they were sleeping. He does a great job. I think people always come away satisfied from Ernie's.
And now, a song by Peter Holsapple.
I'm gonna come see about you, make sure that you're doing alright.
we'd like to welcome Peter Holsapple to the Secret Monkey Quarantine Half-Hour Show.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm great. Staying creative, staying healthy, keeping positive while remaining negative. Sort of my guidelines for life.
Yeah. It's like a battery, having positive and negative at the same time.
Something like that. Just don't touch me to your tongue.
Well, Peter, I know like everybody else we've interviewed, the last 6 months have been like no other. But I have read on social media here and there that you have been quite creative during this period. Tell us what's been going on. I know you moved from out in the rural part of the county to back to the city. So tell us what's going on.
That was a huge help. We moved, we spent a year in Rougemont, lovely Rougemont out in the northern part of Durham County. But it became obvious that it was really just not going to work in terms of what we needed to do and where we needed to go. So we found a nice house. But we, one of the things in the house that we had was a 10 by 12 garden shed in the back. Mm-hmm. And I said, I'd like to make that into a studio. A couple of months ago, it was all completed. It's a really, really nice little room. I've just been recording and recording and writing and recording and writing and recording for whatever purpose. I'm not even really sure what for.
Yeah.
But, it certainly keeps me more level-headed.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting you mentioned recording and not sure what the purpose is. I've almost been convinced that it might be worth it, and especially in this time where everybody's home, is just to release one song like about every 3 weeks. It's almost like a 45 in the old days.
Well,
and whether it's a video or a Bandcamp thing, and it just keeps people interested. That's just a theory, but I don't know if it's been tested.
I have to get people interested all over again. Started being interested again. Yeah. I'm afraid my audience is likely going to predecease me, which I'm always a little worried about. But right now, I don't know what exactly the plan is. I mean, I've got a dozen new songs in the can in various stages of completion. The other thing that I've been doing is I've been doing a lot of online session work, which has been fun. One person in particular that I've been working with is a guy named Parker Delaney, who's a world-renowned portrait artist, and he's also he had a band called Certain General that I produced the first record for back in 1980, maybe, I think, with his stuff, and he invited me to play some accordion, some mandolin, and what have you on his new record, so I've been keeping busy doing that, and a few other folks as well.
Oh, nice. And of course, you played on a track with us, which was kind of interesting because it happened to be a song you're very familiar with.
I was going to say I didn't have to write a chart for that one. And I wanted to tell you all that the version of that is really, really great. And I'm so flattered and honored that you chose to do it.
Thank you. Well, it's
now I got to do like Will Rigby and write a song for you.
Well, you know, we've been playing it in our live shows for about 1.5 years, and it's just a fun song. And just like the DBs, we keep it at under 2 minutes. It's just phenomenal.
It's over before anyone knows it.
Okay, I was going to ask you, so as someone who also plays multiple instruments, are you in a phase right now where you're really into playing one instrument and you've forgotten about all the others, or are you pretty well-rounded with your interests right now?
It's sort of hard to say. I mean, everything sort of reverts back to guitar and keyboards because those are the two main things. But and if you had told me at your age, that I would be making money doing accordion overdubs for people in 2020, I would have laughed and laughed. But I am. I just try to keep it happening, you know. I mean, more than anything else, I'll sort of tune out and let my hands play whatever instrument I have and see what comes up.
Lila?
My question is, did you ever have any inspirations growing up when it came to music, or were you just kind of doing your own thing?
Well, okay, I come from a barely musical family. My parents had some records. That's the sort of the extent of it. My older brother, Curtis, who was 11 years older than me, was classically trained. He got all the piano lessons, and he was a fantastic pianist and classical church organist and choir director. And I didn't take any lessons. I took a couple of guitar lessons. That was not really doing it for me. I'd learned to play a bunch of stuff out of the Beatles songbook already. And so, most of my training is by ear. I did join the choir. I did play in the band, but I played drums in the band. I was snare drummer along with Will Rigby and a bunch of other different people. Bob Northcott was on clarinet. Robert Keeley was on trombone, all North Carolina rock guys. But I just was inspired by my brother and my band teacher and my choir director to keep going. I felt like my parents probably would have liked me to have pursued journalism or law or something like that, but I stuck with music, and I'm really glad that I did. It's the most satisfying thing apart from parenting that I get to do. It's going to be great to get to play with you all again too. I'm very, very pleased that we could work this out. So thank you for having me on the podcast.
Thank you.
I don't do many of these things. So
I think by the time this airs, we will have already played the Carrboro Music Festival. But
weren't we great?
Yeah, we were awesome. The reception was out of this world.
I know. It wasn't one of those 20 people things.
Yeah. Being on the radio. Well, Peter, thank you so much for your time, and love to your family, and we can't wait to catch up with you again.
Thank you all, and my pleasure, and it's great to see you all, even if I haven't seen you all except this way, and soon it will be different, and we will all be together.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Bye. So welcome to another episode of... We're going to start right off with some classic Alice Cooper.
I like the bugs in the back.
Look at the album. Well, why don't you look on the back? Anything ring a bell with you?
No. Let me see.
He actually had a decent amount of radio hits when I was growing up. But anyway, actually, the only song I remember being on the radio was this one, which was an unusual song, I thought. All right. Are you familiar at all with Alice Cooper, by the way?
I know. Didn't he do Schools Out?
Yeah, that was sort of his biggest song. Okay, so we're going to the other end of the spectrum. Lila? So, I guess this was sort of their last studio album before they went their separate ways. How many of these songs do you recognize? I know it's sort of
Bridge Over Troubled Water. And
I think the first 4 songs I think I've heard on the radio, and then the second I'd say about half the album was played. I guess all of it was played on FM radio, but about 4 of them were played, I think, on AM radio.
Is this yours?
No, this is what, 69, 70? I can't remember. 69. Although, I see a 1970 copyright on here. Okay. Okay, girls.
Flash. This is a great album by them.
So this is right up your alley, Ella.
Yes, White Riot is a classic, of course, and I Fought the Law.
Yeah. London's Burning, always liked. All right. So whose is this, by the way? We didn't actually say, hey, whose was Alice Cooper?
Probably Daddy, because he.
I think you're right. Yeah. This one is whose?
I have no clue.
I don't know. No, I never bought any vinyl of them. I was too young. This one's probably your dad's, right?
Yeah, he liked the Clash quite a bit. Okay.
Dead Kennedys.
Also probably Dad's.
Uh-huh.
Can I see what's on this one? Can I even read it?
It's kind of hard to read. Oh, I'm sorry. Up here. So doesn't ring a bell, not anything?
I only know holiday in Cambodia.
Okay, I'm sure it's your dad's.
Pig children. Blood for the state.
That's got to be Dad's.
Yeah. Let's see. Do you see the titles? Like, I'm not quite up on them, sadly. All right, the best of Henry Mancini. Now, this is more my speed. You know what Peter Gunn is, girls?
Yeah, that spy movie theme.
Well, it's strangely, there's a connection. I think Peter Gunn and Do the Secret Monkey have a little bit in common, if you ever hear it.
Baby Elephant Walk.
Well, that too, yeah. That song actually has two Henry Mancini elements to it, because when I play the guitar solo, it's Baby Elephant Rocks. None of these songs ring a bell with you?
Besides the two that you mentioned.
You ever heard of Moon River?
No. Sounds familiar, but I don't know.
Days of Wine and Roses?
No.
Okay, that's just not your... That's what? 50 years before you were born. All right, Joan Armour Trading.
Me,
I don't know
myself.
who this is.
Folk singer. I think she had a bit of an FM hit in the early 80s. Honestly, I can't remember what it was, though. But I just, I got a lot of friends who like her. Ooh, your dad's, maybe?
If it's not yours, it has to have been his.
Okay.
Black Sabbath.
Yes, this is definitely Dad's.
Absolutely. I think the songs were on the front.
Greatest hits. Well,
Yeah.
which songs are you familiar with?
Iron Man, Black Sabbath, War Pigs.
You familiar with all of those?
I know Paranoid. I think I've heard Changes. Iron Man,
Right.
of course, Black Sabbath, War Pigs,
Yeah.
Sweet Leaf.
Speaking of which,
That's a good song.
I love that Ella is familiar with it.
well, when I was a little girl, Iron Man was my favorite song.
Oh my. That's Lila speaking, by the way. Okay, what about this one?
Give me some.
I'm pretty sure this is mine. This is my
Yeah.
favorite Ron Wood album. I think it came out in 80. And a lot of people said this was better than Some Girls, because it does have most of the Stones on it in different places. It's got a great Bob Dylan cover on here called We All Get Old. The whole album is just really, really well done. I never get tired of this record. All right. Well, in fact, when we played the Bob Dylan tribute a few years ago, somebody did 7 Days. All right. Is this like the second time this one's... Is this like the second or third copy?
No, I think this is. I think
I don't
it's just a
think we
different
have this
album
one.
by you two.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I actually did own this. I think it's an EP. Yeah. Sunday Bloody Sunday is the well-known track on here.
I know Gloria.
Gloria got played a lot on the radio.
Party
I Will
Girl,
Follow.
maybe?
Yeah. So anyway, very well could be Matt's, but it's
Or Mom's.
I had
Mom
it
likes
too.
you too.
Yeah. Well, that's it for another episode of We'll See You Soon. Thank you for tuning in.
And now, a song from Sam Frazier.
The water in this wishing well was almost crystal clear. Then another path you beat from home is a shortcut back next year. With a single splash can send a wish rippling through the atmosphere. I'll be skipping coins to you. You're always welcome here. Rippling through the atmosphere. If a halo is your headlight, a tail should help you steer. If they're perched upon your shoulders, they're whispering in your ear. If your demons get too personal, you need some more to fear from you. You're always welcome here. rippling through the atmosphere. Here's to you.
We'd like to welcome Sam Frazier to the Secret Monkey Quarantine Half-Hour Show. Welcome. Good to have you.
Good to be here.
So, we ask a traditional question to our guests. The last 6 months have been unlike any other in our lives, probably. What have you been doing? I wouldn't say differently, but just what have you been doing in general the last 6 months?
Well, I've been teaching remotely, so that's the main difference. Well, I haven't been gigging, that's the main difference.
Sure.
But as far as my teaching thing goes, I've been doing that remotely.
Well, you've met the girls before, but just I'll go through the formality of that's Ella on the left and Lila on the right. Ella with the glasses, Lila with the no glasses.
Hey, Ella, hey, Lila.
Well, Sam, I guess the last time we saw you was at the Beatles Across the Universe show back in a year ago. Gosh, but from the fall until the spring went by pretty fast. So we kind of, unfortunately, I don't know though. Maybe I did see you in the meantime. Didn't I see you at the station playing with Peter Holsapple at one point?
Yep.
There we go. Yeah, we had Jeff Carroll on, and his last show was a show he played with us at the station. So, the station has been sort of a common bond for a lot of us. Ella, Lila, why don't I turn it over to you? I've said plenty.
Do you want to ask a question first?
Sure. I was wondering, have you been listening to any new music over quarantine?
Well, I'm kind of embarrassed to say not much.
That's all right.
I like I said before, I teach a lot, and I'm writing more songs now than I have in years because I'm involved with a Facebook songwriting group that helps, start the ball rolling every month. And also, I got some recording software in an interface, which is new for me. I got some Studio One, and so whatever time I had to spend writing songs and working on student materials and trying to learn how to record.
Because of our education discount, I got Logic Pro X, and I'm slowly working into that. But right now, for our needs, GarageBand is getting it done, so we're happy.
Yeah, I've heard that, and I haven't done much with GarageBand, but I just figured, in general, it's a good idea to be conversant with that stuff. And now, especially now,
yeah.
I mean, somebody sent me a song from Illinois, and I put some guitars on there and vocals on there. And the fact that I can do that is a miracle to me.
Yeah. Well, Peter Holsapple is our other guest this week, and he's doing the same thing. People are sending him tracks, and he's recording it and sending it back.
Yeah.
I've done a little bit of that, but it's just, it is a miracle, and it's really nice to be able to do it.
Yeah, well, I'm getting there, but, I can't say that I'm able. What I'm able to do, when they send you the tracks, you can easily just drag them onto your business, and I can't believe how easy they've made it. It's a long way since Pro Tools started.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to ask, I've noticed that you play both electric and acoustic. Do you kind of go through phases with which one you prefer to play, or are you always up for both?
I'm always up for both. And when I do solo stuff, I generally play acoustic. And when I do band stuff, I generally play electric. Though, a couple years ago, me and my guys, the side effects, we played some shows where I had my 12-string, pick up, and played along, and it was really good. But it sure is a lot of trouble carrying all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Ella was for a few years my roadie, but I think she's getting too old, and she's realizing what a crap job that was.
It's rough, man. It's the hardest part of doing all this.
Yeah. Well, I'm not telling you anything new, and I've said it before, but you are one of my favorite guitar players, and the fact that you're one of my favorite acoustic and electric players, I've told people that you're sort of this region's Richard Thompson because you're equally satisfying either way.
Well, that means a lot to me, man, and that's a high bar.
Yeah. Well, keep striving, man. I got to say, it's just so much fun, and there are a lot of people who can play, but you know how to get a great tone as well. I was marveling at that Beatles show because I guess Ella and I were sort of stage managing that night, and I got to hear you really close up to your amp the whole time you were playing, and I was just shaking my head, and I knew I told Ella, it's like, this guy has got the best tone I've heard in ages.
Well, like I said, I mean, I really appreciate hearing that because it's electric guitar. I mean, it's easy to be too loud, and it's easy to be too this and too that, and so when you get it right, it's nice to know.
Yeah. Well, I was definitely trying to get a sneak peek at your pedal board as you came off stage. So try to learn some secrets from you, at least from that angle. I don't think I'll ever play like that. But
well, I used to have a rep around Greensboro as a person that didn't use pedal boards.
Mm-hmm.
But once I started, I just, first of all, you get addicted to tremolo.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. You know this.
Oh, yeah. I hardly ever play without it now.
It's hard to turn it off.
Yeah, it is. It's
like a warm bath, man.
Oh, good analogy. Good analogy. Well, Sam, it's been a pleasure, and I wish we had longer. These chats seem to go by too fast, but we look forward to having you in video at least, and we're looking forward to seeing what you have for the world at any old time you choose to release it.
Well, I've really had a good time, and it's great to talk to y'all. And unless you've already talked to him, tell Peter I said hello.
I will. I sure will. He respects you quite a bit.
Well, it's mutual.
All right. Well, have a good one, and we'll talk to you soon.
Bye, Jeff. Bye, Ella. Bye, Lila.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Well, that's all for this week's show. I hope you'll come back next week when we have Phil Lee and Jonathan Scott. See you then.